Yo, what's going on, everybody? It's your boy Naruto Explain here, bringing you guys another Boruto Naruto Next Generations discussion on the fallout from Boruto Chapter 73, and it's time for us to discuss a major situation with Sasuke and Boruto. As we all know, at the end of the last manga chapter, everyone's favorite Uchiha sensed Momoshiki manifesting outside of Boruto's body and was quickly spooked as he equated to the last time he felt Momoshiki do so, and he got that ominous feeling, that tingly feeling when he did so. Going back to chapter 74, one thing can be said for certain here. The stakes are about to be raised regardless as to if Sasuke confronts Boruto about this or not, or he monitors the situation from afar, or he makes a mistake of choosing to ignore his feeling. And in today's video, we're going to explore why that is for each of these scenarios, a moment where things will never be the same. We've hit that point of no return. There's no going back here for the story now. The door's been open, and it's only a matter of when we walk through the door and not if we walk through the door. Starting things off with why the stakes get raised if Sasuke confronts Boruto, they raise everything in the manner that changes everything moving forward. Up until now, Boruto's told everyone that Momoshiki gave him the Karma Seal, but he's never shared that prophecy that Momoshiki gave to him in the anime and in the manga. He also hasn't kept up his end of the agreement he had with Sasuke to tell him everything that has occurred when anything happens in regards to the Karma Seal. Sasuke only knows part of the picture. He knows a good deal of the picture, but not the entire picture itself. And one thing we know about Naruto is that when you don't have the full lay of the land before you start putting things into action, it can mean the difference between life or death. Had Asuma's Akatsuki Hunt team possessed information about Hidan and Kakuzu, there's a chance, albeit a small one, Asuma doesn't die because they might be able to hold off until backup arrives. If Jiraiya had intel about Pain being 6 different people and not just being one person, and didn't have to try breaking down each of their powers as he saw them, there's a chance Jiraiya makes it out of here alive, which is something that Pain himself alluded to, though that is debatable as well. I will concede that. Now, the point still stands though. Having full intel leaks makes the difference between your child growing up with you there to feed them at the end of the day, or your child sitting on a swing at the academy watching other students and wondering where his next meal is going to come from. For Sasuke, learning that Momoshiki has begun to pop up more frequently and has begun telling Boruto every other day that he's about to lose everything, that's a really important piece of information he doesn't have. It's the difference between preparing the village for a looming threat and taking countermeasures for an unknown threat and being caught off guard by some grand calamity that is coming. It's enough critical intel to potentially rethink who is being assigned to the guard mission for Boruto, Kawaki, and Ada while they're kept in confinement, because if things go sideways and Momoshiki does gain possession of Boruto, like he told Boruto is inevitable to happen, what is Boruto's guard team going to do? Sarada will get her eye destroyed so she can join Sasuke on the Shinobi Disability Assistance Program. Mitsuki just gets done dirty by Borushiki to the point where even when he uses his Sage transformation, the guy just gets one of those ethereal snakes shoved up his ass faster than he was hoping Boruto dropped the soap during the Hozuki Castle mission. Konohamaru, he just gets killed from Momoshiki releasing his chakra, and the shockwaves just blow off Konohamaru's head and sends him to meet his grandfather and uncle in the afterlife. Circumstances like this would undoubtedly require Naruto or Sasuke to be there as a precaution, because Konoha has multiple threats, both known and unknown, in order to attend to. One will need to be near Boruto since he's a freaking Momoshiki bomb, and then the other one needs to be in Konoha in case something needs to happen. Given Naruto has shown more than once he's unable to do what needs to be done when it comes to Boruto, Sasuke makes the most logical sense if something were to happen here. The specter of Amato's unknown motives, Momoshiki taking over, Ada and Damon, and now you have the unknown to them, which is Code pulling up with the Ten Tails army. There's more than one fire that they have to address here, and they're being split thin against threats that on their own require a concentrated force in order to defend against. However, a rematch of master versus student whose body's been possessed is one that, while it is fun to think about, it is one that has a lot of stakes and a lot of potential handicaps for Sasuke. He talks a big game about being able to do what needs to be done when it comes to Boruto, but if he freezes up like he did last time, Momoshiki might take more than just another eye. Sasuke might show up to that Uchiha barbecue in the sky with Sakura's unseasoned raisin potato salad if anything like that happens. Then you have the issue of Sarada, who won't hesitate to jump in as well, because if something's wrong with Boruto, she's likely to move in this direction, assuming Konohamaru isn't actually useful for once and actually does something to stop her. On the other hand, assuming Sasuke doesn't confront Boruto, or he does choose to not monitor the situation from afar, but instead chooses to ignore things and ignore that ominous feeling that he had in regards to Boruto and Momoshiki, what are the implications of this? Well, assuming Sasuke doesn't just go right back out looking for clues on Ko's whereabouts, Konoha at least has a stronger defense force in case something happens. Naruto and Sasuke, they did get depowered, but it still speaks volumes to the fact that they're still stronger than any Jonin in the village, including people like Sasuke's wife or even Rock Lee. Konoha is better prepared should Ko follow through with this threat to pull up on Konoha with this Ten Tails army. Shikamaru's words that Ko being a Jigen level threat, it doesn't necessarily scare him, because at least that can be something that is addressed, which likely means that there is some type of a contingency plan put in place to face a threat of that level, because he called a Jigen level threat more of a manageable threat. So even in the event that if Ko attacks despite the gap in power, Ko's claw marks, they are a headache, but they can be planned against. But I believe that just as Shikamaru had no answer when Ishiki showed up, it's likely going to be the same thing when Ko pulls up with the whole Ten Tails army with creatures that can use his space-time ninjutsu as well, because this isn't something that his big brain actually calculated for. On the other side of that, you run into the issue of if Momoshiki does take control of Boruto after he willingly gives up control, who is there to stop Boruto if things get out of hand? Sarada, Mitsuki, Konohamaru, they all get their heads sliced off, or their eyes get the stabby no jutsu, complete with the complimentary eye patch so they can cosplay as Sasuke. There's quite a bit of risk here when you really think about it. Say something goes wrong and Boruto gets mentally broken down and gives Momoshiki what he wants, which is control of Boruto's body. If Damon views Boruto as a threat to his sister, he's not going to hesitate to kill Boruto. Damon is the walking embodiment of the phrase, "it's on sight." Kawaki has already shown that when push comes to shove, he's willing to do what needs to be done, even when others are not willing to do so. Kawaki won't have problems killing Boruto, and as of right now, there's no way to fully suppress Momoshiki once he takes over, other than to have Boruto forcibly take back control of his body. But if Boruto's in such a distressed mental shape, it's going to take a lot for Boruto to regain consciousness. Boruto's in a position where there's nobody on his side powerful enough to save him from himself if things ever get too far out of hand. What Sasuke's next decision is for a student is going to be a big one, but one I think we all can agree upon right now is that we're all at a point of no return right now. It's a matter of how much time passes before the storm that Momoshiki predicted eventually lands. Which of these outcomes do you think is more likely? Sasuke confronts Boruto or watches from a distance, or decides to ignore his gut feeling? While you think that over, click here to watch my Black Clover chapter 340 review, or click here for this Naruto Explained video.